Hello everybody, we are at Scarborough, Oliver's Mount, for the Cock of the North 2025 road races. It's Friday. I've just got here and set up. Paddock's actually looking a little bit quiet at the moment. The bike's pretty much ready to go. I've got to do a couple of bits to the CB500. A couple of the CB500 riders from Bemsee are doing their first weekend here. Jake Corty and Ian Carter, and then there's a couple of people who've been before. Liam McPherson, who was at Donington from Scottish Championship, he's here racing on CB500 and another class, and quite a few others as well. Just wandering around the paddock to see if I can find any celebrities. Oh! I found some celebrities.
Yeah, alright mate. How are we?
We all alright?
We are very well, thank you.
Laying down with the CVs.
Right, I'm just here polishing his head, yes.
If that's the lowest you get this weekend, it'll be a result. What do you mean you got nothing on your bottom half?
Well, I just got out of the shower, haven't I?
Have you got more than Will's got down there is what I want to know.
No chance. He's got a loads bigger one.
We'll have to show him the unedited footage of me interviewing his mum, won't we, at some point?
Yeah, definitely.
Did she tell you about that?
No, she didn't know.
Oh, yeah, I had a good old
I can imagine now.
Yeah, I did. I asked her some pretty personal questions. She was fine answering, to be honest.
You're leaning. You get a straight answer.
Yeah, she was good as gold. Yeah. Welcome, Josh Leaning.
Cheers.
Mark Sugden, podium place finisher at Cadwell Park, Bemsee. Apparently it was wet, according to Josh, but it turns out it actually was.
Well, if Mark got on the podium, obviously no one else turned up, did they?
When are you going to come back on your bike? Have you given up?
Yeah, I don't know. I haven't decided yet.
Well, don't take it off him, Mark. Just tell him to fuck off. He's retired and old news. And you're back now.
Has been.
Do you still?
I put my levers on for Brunel when they were seriously tight.
Which ones? Your AM ones?
No, my RST ones. My AM ones are in the shed.
I was going to say, there's no way you fit in them AM levers anymore.
I think they're slacker.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh. Well, Josh Leaning and Mark Sugden, me, Shaun and Mark, Everyday Racer. Hi everyone. This is actually kind of a bit of a joint podcast. We were just going to quickly talk about Scarborough and Cadwell Bemsee. The reason we've got Josh on is because it's just a matter of pure coincidence that Josh is available. He was about to get into bed, but decided that we were a better option than Chantel, apparently. We won't send her the link for this, but Josh, you're
still a pair of tits, isn't it?
There's definitely a pair of tits on here. Again, I can qualify as a pair of tits. Josh, what did you reckon? Have you been following Scarborough at all? Did you see Scarborough this year?
No, I didn't see a lot of it, really.
Why weren't you there, mate?
With Bud.
Are you planning on doing any more with the CB then? Because I know you've been doing a lot.
I'm just building one now, to be fair, and it's the longest one it's ever took me to build, just because I ain't got room.
Right.
What do you mean you haven't got room?
I've just got a small garage, haven't I? It's just like, I've got my R1 there, and I thought, I'll get it built while it's away in Brunel, and then just haven't got round to it. Other stuff, too much to do. People keep ordering parts.
You've probably been a busy guy. I mean, all inundated with British Superbike offers and...
Yeah, I mean, they got in touch with me from Paul Bird just to see if I wanted to step in, and then obviously Scott Redding said, I'll do it. Or was it Scott Redding?
Yeah, I guess out of you and Scott Redding, with you,
it was a close call, but I said, look, if he wants it that much, just let him have it. I'm not really bothered. I can't be asked to drive up to Scotland, so just give it to him, like.
You're a humble guy as well. Like, you know, if Scott needs the exposure, you've got you're a professional in your other job and you're highly sought after. He's only really got that, hasn't he?
Yeah, he's only got that. Just let him have it. He might as well have one bit of fun, hasn't he?
Yeah, completely understand where you come from. Josh, a little Dickerbird tells me that you're coming to join us at Bemsee Cadwell Park round 6 for the sidecar revival, which Thundersport, not Thundersport, getting carried away. Thunderbike 500 have been invited to as a bit of a wild card round. 3 championship races and one silly nonsense race where we get a reverse grid. And you're coming, apparently, you and your brother.
What about the faster brother,
Yeah, the fatter, somehow faster brothers coming. What they haven't told you is we won't be racing against each other. With it being a sidecar revival, they're actually letting us race it on a sidecar together.
Fucking hell. Well, I actually did ask a little while ago. I said I really wanted to see Death, so I've asked if I can join one of the McRae brothers as the passenger, and I think I'm on for it. So it'll be a good crack, I reckon, if you're in a sidecar versus me and Max McRae. I reckon.
Well, they got a sidecar now.
No, I'm joking.
Yeah.
I just think it'd be fucking mental. It'd be lethal to just be on a sidecar with one of them fuckers piloting it. I reckon it'd be mental.
I suppose.
Are you looking forward to coming back, Josh?
Yeah, if I get the bike finished.
Why would you not? You're like the CB bike builder extraordinaire.
Yeah, I know, but I just can't seem to find time. I get home from work and it's just too hot, isn't it?
It's very warm at the minute. Tuggy and I were at the CB 500 No Limits Day at Cadwell. Was it last month before last? That was a good crack. Your brother was there. And he had some bike problems. You didn't build it for him, I take it. Otherwise, it wouldn't.
No, he built that. I told him he would. He tried doing his own wiring loom. He chopped a wire out that he actually needed, which I told him he needed. But obviously, I didn't know what I was talking about because I hadn't done 200 plus of them. So he chopped it out and then rang me up.
Who the fuck are you, really? Like,
which one do I put back in? I was like, the one you took out, you told me you didn't need.
I knew it was fucking bad when I was helping him. So if I'm helping him fix his bike, it's fucking bad. Your dad's there. You got Rick Connell helping him with bits, like everyone. But somehow he still managed to put in half decent lap time. So he obviously hasn't lost a lot. All your advice and all your tuition that you've given him has obviously worked out.
Yeah, definitely.
Shelton was there as well, wasn't he? At the same time.
Yeah, Shelton was there. They were, I believe, they were having a play. I gave them both a little bit of tuition for a couple of sessions, and then sent them on their merry way. And they looked like they were going well. I didn't see much of them because obviously, couldn't hang around with them. I had to get on with it. But,
gap them a bit.
Yeah, I had to gap them a little bit and just get on with my own sessions. But they seem to be going really well after a little time away. Mostly expecting you guys to be battling, in the second pack when we get to the next round. But tell us, any other plans for the rest of the year? You're looking towards maybe any other rounds, or is it just this is a one-off wild card?
No, I'll just do that one, and if I enjoy it, I might do something else. It depends what Will does, really, because it's like when you look at the time. I don't want to sound like I'm being big-headed or out, but I could have turned around with my arm on my hip and won at the weekend, realistically.
Unless Grant or Will turned up.
Yeah, that's what I mean. So if Will does more, I'll probably do more, or Adam does a few, whatever. You got to have a bit of competition, haven't you? And it's like if someone else was a bit nearer, where they'd get dragged up, but realistically, unless you're doing a 42, you're not going to get dragged along, are you?
No, we've discussed this at fair length at Bemsee, and realistically, it's a new championship. There's a lot of lads at the front that have sort of either slowly come up through it, or they're new to the class from 600s and whatever else. They're still learning the bikes and the tyres and stuff. We don't think the pace is too bad, considering No Limits has been running for a little while and we're very similar pace-wise. But yeah, I think we need someone who's sort of at Cadwell, if you use Cadwell as the the reference. We need someone that's like sort of 42s, 43s to sort of drag everybody else on that little bit extra and sort of bring the pace up. It'd be good to have you guys along at some point, maybe next year. It's certainly looking like Bemsee is the go-to CB500 grid. We're looking at possibly next year potentially running 2 grids, similar to sort of Thundersport-esque, maybe an elite sportsman, freshman, seniors category or something to that effect. We don't really know yet until it gets further along. We discuss it with the organisers and the rider rep and everyone else. But is it something that you think about coming back to full time, or are you just sort of taking it, see what happens at the round, see who enters? Obviously, I completely get where you're coming from. You did a lot of CB500 riding, and I guess that it's really only worth coming back for you guys if there is a competition there. You don't want to come away and take trophies away just for the sake of it, I'm assuming.
No, I can't. The point was turning up. And for other people as well, I just don't see the point in turning up just to ride round and take trophy off someone who deserves a first place trophy. That if like someone doesn't turn up that's rid one for years and got experience, they're going to get a first place trophy, aren't they? And something they'll treasure and put on the mantelpiece, where I'll just chuck it in the corner and just be like, what do I do with that piece of shit? I'd rather have had a fiver.
I mean, I mostly imagine that you weigh all of yours in. You've put them all in a skip and taken them down to the metal merchants and just weighed them in for a few quid, have you not?
There's a few in the shed, what I've still got, but I did get rid of a load, give them to my mate whose missus has a horse riding thing. So she peeled all the badges off and give them to some prizes there.
All right, okay.
Oh boy.
I wish I'd just peeled all the labels off and stuck them on a bit of plywood and had it on my garage wall or something, but I didn't think of it at the time.
Is it just another second place when Will turns up to the same scrapyard and gets more for his trophies? Or?
Yeah, definitely. These are just a bit heavier because they're always first place. Mine are always soft.
Yeah, that's what I was getting at. I'm glad you got the joke.
It would be cool though, wouldn't it, to see yourself, Grant. It's not going to happen. But yourself, Grant, Will, and maybe Josh and Adam. That'd be a good race.
Yeah.
Graham Freer.
Finn.
Yeah.
We've seen a lot of what's his name? Alfie Davidson, who races at BSB support classes as well at Bemsee.
He said he's doing smoke you easy.
He did say he'd smoke you. The times, because we all sit and compare the times, and it is good to watch and good to read into it. But I think it'd be really good because Josh Owens comes along on Jim Fitz's bike, and it would be really nice to see how you compare to him, because the times show that Josh is a little bit behind what you guys were doing originally. When he was at Alton, I don't think he quite got to...
No, he didn't. Grant was the quickest round Alton, I think. Grant got that record there.
Yeah, I think Grant still holds...
He's the only one to go into the next bracket. I can't remember what the time was, but he dipped. It was like a 54 and he'd done a 53, I think.
Yeah, that's right. So Grant was still lap record holder at the end of that weekend after we'd been there. Because obviously Bensley's got his own lap records because it's a new class and it's a new to the club. But it was good to see that Josh was close. But obviously Grant still holds the overall CB500 lap record on Dunlops. It would be good if you guys came along and showed people like Alfie, like Josh, what the bike and the tyres are capable of. We'd love to show them, but obviously we're not quite there yet. I think that we're getting quicker, and even some of the No Limits lads are definitely getting there. Max Bartle and Josh Langman's actually really upped his game since Thundersport as well, and he's lapped.
I think he's downed his game.
Do you reckon?
Yeah, definitely. He was fast at Thundersport. He's gone downhill.
Mate,
but he's had a couple of years off one, hasn't he?
He has, but he's getting
there now. But when he first got back on one, he wasn't as good as he was at Thundersport. I'm sure he'll admit that.
I mean, fuck me, mate. I don't remember seeing which way he went at Thundersport, much like a lot of you. But he looks like he's doing all right.
Back at me at Mallory, I'll tell you that for now.
He did. I remember that year. He did. He fucking wiped you out, didn't he?
Oh, he made a right mess of the bike. I remember going there. I could hear something coming behind me, and his bike just smashed into the back of me, and I was like, oh God, what's happening here? Felt like it just pushed air up my arsehole. It felt weird.
I do. I remember I was there that round. Yeah, it was a bit rough. Well, you know, there are people that are moving up, and it is moving on, and it's quite interesting looking at the times, because we did get sent the times from like 20. I think it was 21 whilst we was there at the weekend, and it was a little quicker than us. You don't know what the timing systems are, and you don't know if the timing system's any different, and if the configuration's different or anything else. You'd like to think it's pretty close. So, yeah, the times are down a little bit compared to what they have been. But it is a new class, and we are getting quicker every time we go out. It does seem like the class is pushing on, and there is a bit of competition. It does seem like there is that one person that just needs to sort of drag everyone else along. The problem is when Finn turns up, or Josh Owens turns up, or Alfie turns up, that it's just that too far away for everybody else to learn a little bit.
Everyone, don't they?
So we could do with a little bit of middle ground between them and the first pack when them lot are not there, which would be good. But it would be great if you guys came back, because do you miss the glory days? Do you miss the battles and the rivalry and everything else?
Yeah, one of the best races I had, I come fourth at Donington, and it was wet. And there was me, Will, Graham Freer, and Nick Anderson. And Nick was shit in the dry. He was 3 seconds off in the dry, I think. But when it was wet, it was rapid. And I can't remember if Will or Bud won it, but Nick beat me for third place, and I was fourth, like. But it was a hell of a race. I remember tipping in top of Craner, and Bud come past me on the inside over the rumble strip on the right hand side. I was like, fuck's sake, he wants it.
There's always some fucker that wants it in the wet more than someone else.
Yeah.
We learned that. We learned that at the weekend, and that's the thing. Like, so we had our weekend. We had dry weekend on dry Saturday, wet Sunday, and there's just between Mark and I was a bit of a contrast. I was in fourth or fifth, that front gaggle for the most part of the Saturday, and Mark absolutely annihilated me on the Sunday. I can't ride in the rain at all. Mark evidently rides lovely in the rain, and there was quite a few who were just that step above in the wet. But yeah,
It's weird how it happens, isn't it? How it changes.
Yeah, and do you know what? I've been looking back through a lot of the old videos and a lot of the old Thundersport videos on the old Thundersport iPlayer at the time, and there's some great battles from yesteryear, from even as old back as 2015. Like, I didn't realise that Richard Blunt had been riding that long, and there was a great video of Blunty at Cadwell absolutely having it with... it would have been Barton.
Barton.
Yeah, Barton, and you and Will were in that sort of.
I was a bit further back.
Then, but it's great to see the progression, isn't it? Because at the end of the day, everybody starts somewhere, and then you end up somewhere else, depending on the year that you're in. And I know we had a little joke and a bit of banter on the Facebook page. You was taking the piss, telling us all it was wet on the Saturday when it was actually bone dry, but that is how it goes, isn't it? Everybody moves along a little bit eventually, and it was great to see. I didn't realise Richard had been riding that long, because I didn't really know Richard before this year, and it's a shame we haven't really seen him since Snetterton. I was hoping he was going to get along to Donington, but it turns out he hasn't been able to. I think he's at Aberdare this weekend, which would be good to see.
If they do a wheelie competition, that kid will win it, definitely.
Yeah, that guy can wheelie proper. Yeah, he's really good. Yeah, really, really good. Him and we've got Luke McRae as well. Both proper good at their stand-ups. But yeah, Blunty is decent. And
Cole Mooney, he was the man.
Do you know what? I hadn't met Cole Mooney until Scarborough. Last time we was out at Scarborough, I bumped into Cole and Kev.
Little
Scarborough. Really great guys, great to get on with, great to chat to. Loads of CB500 history. I think we should get them on at some point, to be honest. Maybe we'll get them on with your dad, but I wasn't sure if we'd get a word in edgewise with all the stories and the banter, to be honest. So, but they did say that they was up for coming on at some point, and they've got a lot of history with the class. And I know that Kev now obviously supports quite a few riders at road racing and stuff. He has got Scott Aitken on his CB500 when he can and stuff. So yeah, it'd be good to have some people from yesteryear on at some point. You're not quite yesteryear yet though, mate, as you've come back. So hopefully what we'll do is we'll have you back on after the Cadwell round and see how you got on and see what you thought of Bemsee and how it was run, and see if you feel like we all do, where it feels really similar to Thundersport, where it's quite friendly and well organised and well thought out. And we'll have you back on, and then we'll hear all about how, you know, we'll hear all your excuses for why we'll beat you and all that.
Yeah, definitely. I was just getting to that.
Yeah.
Hopefully you've got some pictures for them frames in the background by then as well, Sean.
That's all the pictures of my first places.
Podium pictures.
If there was a podium picture, there'd be at least 3 up there, mate. But no, look, there's all my first places up on the wall there. So, or the children that I have that I love, much like you, mate. I'm sure you're, you know, all the children stopping me from doing more motorcycle racing.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, thanks for coming on, Josh. Really appreciate it. And
yeah, no bother. I'll let you two get on with your boring conversation about how Cadwell and Scarborough was in the wet.
No, Scarborough was bone dry, mate. You missed out a good one.
Oh, was that dry as well?
Yeah, but you didn't pay attention. You already told us you didn't pay attention to it, so you can't play that fucking card with us. What's your best lap time around Scarborough, Josh? Because we're back there in a week's time. I'm doing the rider rep job, so I'm taking everybody round for their first newcomer laps. We've got Rob Carver doing his first newcomer laps at Scarborough.
No, I didn't even know that. I didn't know he was doing it. What did Shelton do at weekend?
I think Shelton did a 2:01 or a 2-minute flat. At
12, was it?
Where? What?
Was it 2:12 at Scarborough?
No, 2-minute. Dead.
Was it? I think I did a 2:03 maybe.
Yeah.
Did I?
It's 2:01, I think, in the dry, and it's fucking wild. I don't even know how it does it. I did a 2:08 on a shitty bike. I'm taking the main bike this time, so hopefully I'll knock a bit off. But yeah, I don't know how you get under. I think I can see a 2:05 in my head, but how you get to a 2:01, 2:02 dead, I don't even know. So,
Get into the corners. That's what he's doing.
Mate, he chucks a fucking anchor out. He may as well just go foof and fry out.
Last time I went there, I thought, there's no way I can compete with him there, because that don't work anywhere else. What he's doing, like, if you go to Cadwell, don't work. He's making no benefit. He's just out of control. He just looks out of control. He's not, but he looks it. And I went to Scarborough and I thought, that's actually working here, because he's backing it into the corner that far that he's just hitting the apex and then getting straight on the throttle, whereas I'm trying to go around the corner. And you'll know, Sean, we're riding that. Did you go on your 600 last time? A 600 is so much nicer around there because it just turns that much easier.
Yeah.
Like it's less of a corner on a 600. It's like full lock on a CB, isn't it?
Yeah. The main thing I know, so it's hilarious. Well, I went with him on our first newcomer weekend, and he goes. I said to him, I followed him around at one point. I had followed him around briefly. It was a warm up lap, and he goes, I said, why do you do that? And he tries to explain it to me, and he goes, just give it a go. And I was like, absolutely fucking not. As if I'm trying that round here. Like, of all places, I'm going to try that round here. He just gets it stopped, gets it turned, and fires it out. And he's obviously quite a bit lighter than me. But yeah, the way he rides the bike round there, it just doesn't look it doesn't look like it should work, but it does. But I've watched him. I followed him when we was at Cadwell for the CB day, and he rides exactly the same way. He's locking it up, going down into Mansfield and everything. And I tried to follow him into Hairpin and nearly ended up in the crash barrier. So yeah, he's a little bit out of my remit, to be honest. But
lunatic.
Yeah, I totally get what you mean. I mean, it's a completely different circuit on a 600. Like, it blew my mind on a 600. I've done a 2:08 on the CB. I think I'm good for a 2:06, but we'll see what happens next weekend. Yeah, something else. It'd be really good to watch Scarborough grow, because Andy there is really looking at sort of pushing CB 500s and the fairness of it and keeping it to the sort of club rules. It'd be good to have you back. I don't know, has Will ever done Scarborough?
No, not done it. You won't do it.
Because you've been doing it you've done it quite a lot over the years, haven't you? I
think I've done it 4 times now, maybe.
Right, okay. Yeah, it would be great if we could get some more names as well. I know we've got a lot of freshmen at CBs that are really keen to do it. So
I can't believe Nick's not done it. Nick's fast round there. He did it on his 400 last year when we was there.
Yeah,
he didn't do it on his CB.
Yeah, no, he was there on the 400. I think the year that last year, when the meeting I was there, which was the one that you were at, which I wasn't, which I think was in between. So,
Yeah.
But yeah, I don't know what Nick's plans are, and we'll see what happens. But maybe you come along to the Gold Cup on CB if you got 1 mil. That's not
When's that?
September.
Later in the year, yeah.
Maybe, I don't know.
Yeah, come on, you'll be all right. You enjoy it.
Right. Anyway, I'm going to go anyway because I'm off to Benidorm tomorrow on Snowy Stag Do.
Hey, do you ever do any work? You're always on fucking holiday.
Try not to.
Well, thanks very much for coming on. Good to see you.
Thanks for having me.
No worries, mate. We'll catch you in a couple of weeks.
See you in a bit.
Take it easy, mate. Well, we got Josh Lean on for a chat. I actually didn't expect him to come on, so good crack.
It was relatively PG as well.
It was very PG for Josh, so
we might need subtitles, but yeah.
Yeah, we might need some subtitles. I just about understood what he was getting at, but yeah,
it would be good though, wouldn't it, if they could get a few more people to some of these rounds. I think Scarborough would benefit. Well, Bemsee would benefit, and Scarborough. It'd just be good to see a bit of a change, wouldn't it? Especially if, like you said, if they're thinking of doing more of an elite class, that'd be good as well. Because we do have we've said this before, we do have a bunch that are like more average riders. That's me, obviously, and everybody else that's similar pace to me. And then there's some that are clearly miles faster. It would be good to have a bit of both, wouldn't it? Again.
Yeah, I think we was discussing this. I was sat with Northie in the van at one point, and we were just having a chat. And I think realistically, the top sort of 5 or 6 at Bemsee, we're all quite close. I think that's why we didn't really break that 44 mark. Yeah. I think we're all looking to each other to sort of gain that last bit. And I think if we had someone else who was like, maybe, I know them lads can do like 40s dead on their day. They can do 40s dead. Obviously, we know Will can do a 39. I can't remember if Josh and Grant have done 39s. I know Adam's done 39s, but he was on super courses and the questions around it or whatever else. But I'm pretty sure that Adam's capable of doing them sort of lap times on Dunlops as well. I think if we had somebody who was a little bit between that, if we had somebody doing 43s, just to drag Luke, Kershaw, Northie, myself, Jake, Olive, Max McRae, if they turn up and they can, and but at the end of the day, we welcome fast people because that drags the pace on and that helps everybody get a new target. So it'd be good if we had some of these people come along. Obviously, whether or not it interrupts our championship or not, if they're coming along for one round, we don't know yet. It's a bit early days. We'll find out on that soon. But it'd still be great to have them along. I think it's good for the championship. And the fact that they want to come along after all these years of not riding, and because of off the back of what they've seen. It's a bit of fun for them, but off the back of what they've seen, I'm assuming. And hopefully
the thing is, it's
racing.
The speed and all that's one thing, but it's just been a good laugh, hasn't it? That's the main thing. I think that's why everyone's enjoying it. There's pushing it and being fast and all that lot, and other people who are miles quicker, and then there's just having a good laugh. And I think that's what's made it quite nice, is the fact that we've seen this weekend, haven't we? Everyone has a good laugh. They chip in. There were so many crashes this weekend, weren't there? So many bikes smashed up that we all helped each other put them back together and that. And you don't see that in another class, do you? Well, I didn't anyway, not Cadwell. When there was a crash, it was some guy on his own fixing it himself, whereas for us, it's like, No. I think there's one point, there was like I can't remember whose bike it was, but there was like Chris fixing it, there was Abby fixing it, yourself, me, everybody chipping in, and that's just what's nice to see.
We've got... We sort of are starting to organise our own little CB village at every round, and it's really good. Mark Osborne had a crashing test day. Ryan Gregory had a testing crash day. Colt went down. Everybody mucks in.
Chris went through the barrier.
Chris went through. Chris put a barrier through.
Will actually had the biggest, didn't he? Will's crash.
Will Kearney's crash, which obviously will stick up for everyone to see. I'm sure most people have seen it by now. It's probably like the most famous CB picture of the month. But everybody gets stuck in it one way or another. It's great to see. It's great for the class where I think, and I've discussed this with a few people recently, especially the lads that have come from 600s like Luke McRae and Jake Corty, that when I don't know for definite, but when you watch 600s and you watch thousands and you watch everything else, when you're spending that much money on a weekend and you're spending hundreds, thousands of pounds on tyres and entries and everything else, it soon becomes a lot about the result and less about racing and less about the social. Whereas with us lot, we're very social and very race, like the race story and the social side orientated.
This is equally fun. Yeah,
it's massively as fun. It's massively important to everybody. We all get on great. Everybody has a great time, and I think that it being less about the result is really important. Like we said it before, Ryan and I've seen Ryan helping Abby get her wheel in her bike ready if she can get out at the weekend when he and her are battling for the rookie championship. And similar stuff with us lot. Like Northy has some problems with his generator the weekend. I dragged him into the garage, into the tent, and he's using my generator.
When he ripped the cable out.
Yeah, whatever. We're all... Wait, what you mean, the cable that he ripped out at Donny that he knew he was fixing but didn't quite fix? Hey, look, at the end of the day, you can't beat someone if they're not out there, and everybody just wants to get along, beat everybody on the same level. It's fantastic. It really does scream Thundersport vibes of that social camaraderie within the class. Max, us, everybody is doing their bit to elevate the class and bring Bemsee to the top. We had Benjamin Round over from No Limits this weekend, and all the feedback I heard from him was fantastic. He really enjoyed it for his son that was riding in the 400s and himself.
That's cool. Yeah,
he's really good. So I think next year's going to be a very different dynamic on how the championship looks, because it sounds like we're going to get some different people from different race clubs come in. But hopefully we have much of the same people as well, because it's just been a fantastic year. We're actually only halfway through. We've still got Cadwell Sidecar Revival, which CB500s are invited to. We've still got Snetterton, we've still got Brands, we've still got Donny. So we've got 4 rounds left out of all of them. So hopefully they're all fantastic. We're hoping to be at as many as we can be. And what a weekend. I mean, you had a great weekend. You had a great weekend on the Sunday. Tell us about your race. Your race. What did you get? Second place, wasn't it?
No, third.
Was it third? Sorry.
So I started out okay. I mean, qualifying went all right. I mean, I did 1 minute 48, which I know I ain't fast, but for me, I was happy with it, and it was a reasonable start, and that would have put me on row 3. And then race 1 set off on the start line, didn't I? And the flipping throttle snapped in half, which is just unheard of. It's like I had a quick throttle on there, and it literally snapped. So I pulled across the side, and of course I was on row 3, so you've got every flipping rider flying past you, so that's not something I want to experience again. It was bloody scary. And that was that. So that obviously then pushed me back to row 5 for the next race in the dry, and that was okay as well. I managed to end up 7th in class and then 8th overall, so that, reasonable considering where I started from. Sunday, obviously completely different weather on it to Saturday. You've gone very dark there. There we go. Saturday was nice and dry, so everyone was all confident and great. Sunday was absolutely horrendous, like proper heavy rain. And I don't mind the rain. I don't enjoy it, but I don't mind it. I just ride as normal and try to be smooth and everything. So I started off on row 3 again, so pretty much back where I started qualifying. And then I was ended up 5th. And then obviously the next race, I was on the front row, which I've never been in the front row before. So, try not to shit it a little bit. So trying to get a good start and not be too nervous. And then, I just ended up with the 3rd place, which I was quite chuffed with, considering,
You looked mega. I was fourth on the grid for these wet races. I was disappointed because I felt like I had a nice position for the dry races for Sunday. I was on the outside outside on the start. I had a good pace on the Saturday in the afternoon, and I was really happy with where I was. And it was wet. Went with the front lads. I need a glass for that.
Get some more supplies.
Yeah, I was just getting some red wine supplies. So I was in a nice spot where I was. I had a good pace on Saturday, fourth, and like at one point on the last lap in the second race, it was like 0.5 from the win. So it was what it was. But I was looking forward to Sunday, and then it was wet, and I've never finished a wet race at Cadwell. I've always ended up down the gooseneck, off at barn, covered in mud from head to toe, and I just want to get through my races. Damage limitation in class, I came 5th and 6th, and I think overall I was like 8th and 9th or wherever I was. But I'm not taking anything away from the lads that finished in front of me. You were riding mega. Colt Dwyer,
Colt did really well, yeah.
Dean Carver did really well, and then obviously you lads in front were on fire. I just wasn't up for putting my bike in my van covered in mud from top to bottom like I usually do. Thanks, mate. Cheers, mate.
It always
bye. So
it always amazes me like how you get like such a difference between the wet and the dry. So I was trying to say to like another mate, there's something about the wet that doesn't bother me, but yet you'd think then in the dry I won't be bothered about anything at all, and it's just not the case. I don't know what it is. It's like, how can you go from being fine in the wet and pushing yourself and feeling, I felt fine. I didn't feel like, I wasn't worried about nothing. My bike was moving around horrendously, which I'm going to show in the video I did. I've never felt anything like it. It was weaving, and it felt like a tank slapper on the go every single time I went up Coppice or down Mansfield. And again, I'll show it in a video that I'm going to do, but I felt all right. It felt fine. But then, you know, if that happened in the dry, I'd be panicking. You know what I mean? It's like I just can't seem to find that extra speed. It's weird how it doesn't translate. You think it would, but it doesn't.
Mate, it's no different from the other way. So I didn't really understand why I was able to do in the dry, but not translate it to the
faster,
yeah, because
it's weird, isn't it?
I didn't like. I was a bit confused because I felt like I was really slow in the wet. And the lads that were close to me said to me, "Well, you was, you know, it wasn't easy to get past it. You know, I think I was in like 201s, which is not fantastic, but there was a step behind me to like 205, so I was going all right, and I was only a couple of seconds away from the front people a lap really, and it was like." I think it was more just wanting to get through the weekend without an incident. Most people know my history, and I haven't had a great deal of success in making it through the weekend. Ultimately, no, I didn't really understand it either, because I couldn't just make it happen. And I think that's just experience, isn't it? It'll just come eventually, one way or the other. I think we've been really lucky with the weather that we've had, so we've not had to actually ride in the rain a lot. Yeah. So I think that it'll be different at different circuits, and it always is, because it's slightly different in the dry circuit. When it's dry, it's different circuits. It's not always exactly the same top 5 or top 4 people, but it's close. But in the wet, it might not always be exactly the same people again. Some people looked mega confident in the wet. It was really impressive to watch.
Yeah, like you said, Cole and Dean, that looked absolutely brilliant. They were doing really well. And there was a lot of people at Cadwell was the first, like Abby's never been to Cadwell before at all, and it's you know, it's not an easy one to learn, is it? Let's face it.
No, I think Cadwell was really a tale of two. Well, it was definitely a weekend of two halves. We had a chaotic test day. I only did the morning. I think you did the full day, didn't you? And
yeah, it was a full day. Yeah.
Typically, we have these hectic test days, which it's a struggle for us all to find some rhythm. But
you mean the S?
Yeah, some of the SVs are hard to get around, and I mean, I was quite lucky. I mean, I managed to do a couple of fast laps, which I was really happy with, but couldn't then replicate that into a race pace, unfortunately, or a qualifying pace, because my test day pace would have put me on pole. So it's quite frustrating, really. And then we had a good Saturday. It was decent racing from front to back. Lots of battles, lots of people.
We had
lots of people, and lots of battles, and it was great fun. And I think that then on the Sunday with the wet weather, it changed the dynamic of it, and we had quite a bit of a different day. I mean, Kershaw was fucking something else in the wet, wasn't he?
Yeah, he seems to do well at everything. Yeah, I mean, I spoke to him after the race, and he said on the first wet race it took him a while to get going. I mean, I got in front of him, so it obviously did, and then after that he was like just gone, and then I think he did really well.
I think that is the wet though, isn't it? That's experience more than anything else, and I think Kershaw's definitely got the experience over most of the field, I would say.
Yeah.
And when you're riding in the rain, that's what you need. I think the dry is quite a bit different, and that, Northie had the better of everybody in the dry, which seems to be pretty typical this year. But in the second race, especially in the dry, Rob Carver was really close all weekend. I think if he hadn't had the bike problems that he'd had, and we hadn't had the red flag in the first race, Rob certainly
was rapid, wasn't he?
Yeah, he could have definitely snatched the podium. I think he's finding his old sportsman pace that he used to run at Thundersport, and he's getting there now. So that's good to see. And yeah, just generally, everybody that crashed and had a problem, from Ryan to Chris, Mark, everybody got stuck back in and went for it. Will Kearney, that crash would have put anybody off for the rest of the weekend, but
I'd have quit, I think, after that.
Yeah,
the height that bike got, it was insane, and he just stood up and looked relatively okay after that as well.
But a lot of people crash like that and never get a photo of it. To get an awesome photo of it is fantastic.
Yeah, that was a checkered flag as well, wasn't it? Getting the shots again.
Matt at checkered flag got a perfect photo of it. Brilliant, great to see. And yeah, fantastic. And I've already been seeing some clips from Alan, and there should be a video of one of the races up here for everyone to look at. Whilst we're waiting for Alan to slowly get through the videos. Obviously he's got loads to upload, so it takes him quite a while, but we appreciate everything Alan does, and we thank Matt for all the pictures that he takes of everybody, of our class and everybody else's class. Another great weekend. Scrutineering, they decided to weigh everybody's bikes this weekend, which was an interesting move. We don't really know
what's going on.
No, I've got no insider information. I can't confirm nor deny anything. It was an interesting move. We don't really know why, because as far as I'm aware, in the regulations there is no minimum bike weight.
That must mean surely that they'll be bringing something in for next year, right? It's got to be getting a rough idea of average weight and all that lot.
Yeah, I mean, possibly, but it's hard, and especially from my point of view, to agree with a minimum bike weight, rider weight, like a minimum combined weight, purely because we've talked about this before on here, and we've talked about it in the paddock about rider weights and everything else. If rider weight made as big of a difference as I think that they thought it would at the beginning, Jake would win everything, because Jake is a capable rider. Jake Courtney we're talking about. He's a capable rider. He's got the skill, but when you are following Jake has disadvantages to his size. He can't flip-flop the bike quite as quickly. He can't muscle the bike around quite as hard. And obviously, he maybe gains a little bit on the straights, but if you draft him properly, it doesn't make that much of a difference. And it's not like he's a little bit smaller. He's quite a bit smaller. So it's hard to say. And I don't know if minimum bike weight is a big thing. I mean, how much weight can you really take off these bikes without spending thousands?
Is that like, I guess, titanium stuff, and then maybe anything else that they're thinking, I don't know, what else could there be? Stuff that shouldn't be on there that might be light? I don't know.
I mean, realistically, what are you going to make out of titanium? Spindles?
Yeah, generally all bolts.
Spindles and bolts.
There's only Lee that's got a super titanium built bike, isn't there? Everybody else is
I mean, there have been some titanium builds before, but it's mainly only spindles and bolts, and realistically, you're going to save, 3 kilos if you're lucky.
Yeah, it'd be interesting to know. See if we can find out.
Well, they did it. there was no feedback on it or why, and I didn't ask why, and I wasn't sure why, but they did it. They're still weighing everybody as per the usual. Anyone that's new that comes along, it's worth mentioning some of the newcomers that come along actually, because there was some impressive riding from a couple of the newcomers. If you bear with me, I'm trying my hardest to be exceptional at mucking around with my computer. So we had I don't think I'm going to be able to say his last name properly, but it's Philip Ianson, or so Phil Ianson. Is that right?
Yeah, Phil. Yeah.
Phil was Phil was really good. He came 6th in class, which is C2, and 7th overall in race 2. I'm using race 2 as an example because that was the last dry race of the weekend.
He was only there for the Saturday.
He was only there for the Saturday as well. We also had an Owen Wilkinson who did really well. He came 12th overall, Joe, 10th in class.
Joe was there, wasn't he, as well?
Which one?
Joseph, is it Cole?
Joe Cole. Don't think Joe Cole counted as a rookie because he's been racing at low limits, but Joe Cole was there, and new to Bemsee. It looked like he had a good weekend as well. Bobby Campbell, Rachel Stacey looked like she had a mega weekend. She hasn't raced for a while, and she had a good weekend as well. It was great to see. Some great times from her. She did well. We had Lee Threlfall back as well, as you just mentioned, which was good to have him back. Martin Siggins, his first time in the class, had a rough round, bless him. Bike got mullered on test day in a
probably
bit of
the most pristine bike other than Lee, I guess, and it looked mint as well. Did very much like I did, like built an awesome looking bike, did the first, well, I'm assuming first race or one of the first races, and then just had an off. Like, it happens, doesn't it?
I think you got caught up in a bit of an accident where maybe Ryan or Colt had gone down and there was a collision. I mean, at the end of the day, these things happen. But it looks like that the bike's on its way to being repaired already, and we're only on less than a week after. I actually spoke to him the day after, and the bike was completely bare. So someone's keen. To be fair, anyone that's got Martin on Facebook will see that he's really keen. So hopefully he enjoyed it. But yeah, like fastest lap of the weekend was Northie. I think it was a 1:45 dead. So lap record. Adrian and Luke were both going really well. Jake was close. Benjamin Round did come 6th in race 2 overall, which was 5th in class because Jake.
I think he said Ben's fairly new at Cadwell, isn't he? As in, like,
yeah, I think
compared to some of the others.
Yeah, I don't think Ben's done much at Cadwell. I think he'd only done one novice round. So quite inexperienced for Cadwell as such. Yeah. But I think Ben's pace, well, speaks for itself, really, the fact that it was that high up, to be honest. Yeah. So I'm sure with some more time he'll be there. And everybody else rode really well. Calvin Grimes, Simon Finch, Max, Chris Rowland was limping all weekend after his accident on the test day. Absolutely managed to turn it around. It was great to see. The resolve of everybody in the class when they have an accident or they have a problem is really fantastic to watch. To just get back on and go for it again. It's really good. So I think overall the Bemsey weekend was fantastic. It was great to see everybody out there giving it everything. I don't think we had a DNF in our race. Did we have any DNFs in our race 3 and 4? Let's have a quick look. So. There are some people that aren't classified, but whether they actually didn't DNF'd.
Rob broke down in.
So race 3, which was the first wet race of the weekend, we've got Owen Wilkinson didn't finish, Joseph Cole didn't finish, Ian Carter, he definitely had a mechanical.
Yeah.
Woodall was having a lot of problems with his bike over the weekend, so I'm assuming that was a mechanical given that he didn't complete a lap. And on race 4, the only DNF was Rob Carver, and the non-starter was Pete Woodall. So in the last race of the weekend, sodden, absolutely soaking wet.
We waited around a long time, didn't we, as well? To the end of the day,
we waited a long time. But the crazy, wild CB500 mentalists all managed to keep it upright, and we only had one non-finisher, which was a mechanical. So I think we should all be very happy with that. and Bemsee, I'm sure, are too. But well done to Bemsee for getting everybody back out and keeping us all in the weekend, getting all the races done. The communication's fantastic via the app, as always. And being part of the little CB village really makes a difference because everybody's listening. Even if you're doing something, someone's listening, someone's keeping you in check, making sure that you're good to go. And there's not really a great deal more to say apart from that we've got to go back and do it all again in 4 weeks' time or 3 weeks' time or whatever it is for the sidecar revival, which is a bit of a one-off round for 500s. And the premise of the weekend is that we get 3 championship races with a bit of a silly race at the end, which is optional. Handicap race. And
so that's where, I might be wrong here, but that's where the fastest starts at the back, right? Back of the grid, slowest at the front, and then whatever after that.
So really the easiest way of explaining it is they do the 3 championship races, and then based on your qualifying or your positions or mega laps, you'll put at the back if you was at the front. Some people will start on the grid. Some of the really fast lads will start from pit lane and get sent out after the light's gone out. And the idea is that it makes for a really good race to the finish line. It sounds like utter madness and chaos.
Yeah.
So some people have already said that they're not sure and they're going to sit out. But if we end up going and we get involved, then I'm sure we'll record it and watch it all.
The thing is, the ones who are fast enough to get past will get past no matter what anyway, won't they? So it's probably not anything to worry about because they're going to do it and they'll pass probably before you even know it and they'll be gone. So it's one of them where it'll be chaos, definitely, because obviously you'll have loads coming past you, but I think it'll be quite an interesting, fun as well.
I think we've got a great class when it comes to getting past people. For the most part, contact's minimum. Everybody's starting to learn each other. Everyone knows who's going to go where and where roughly they're going to go, so it's not too bad. I think it'll be a fantastic race for everybody to watch. Fingers crossed we get some decent weather. I haven't actually signed on yet. Have you signed on yet?
No, I haven't. I was debating it, but I don't know.
Yeah.
We'll see.
I've got Scarborough next week with Rob Carver, as you probably heard in the Josh Leaning portion of it, and a bunch of other Scarborough people. I think there's 10 of us on the grid.
Yeah, so who else is... There's a load of new people going this time. The first time there's quite a lot of new ones. In fact, most of the grid was new, wasn't it? And then it's, again, a full bunch of newcomers, isn't there, to the Scarborough racing as well.
Yeah, I think there is some newcomers. I haven't actually got the list of names quite yet, but there is some new people. There is some new people.
But you're very dark in the...
hang on 1 second. There we go. I haven't found out exactly who the newcomers are yet. I know we have Rob, and I know there's a couple of others. Andy is really trying to build the Scarborough CB grid up, and I think it'll be fantastic once we get some of our Bemsee freshmen, newcomers, rookies pass it to their national license, because they seem really up for it. Over the years, when I've spoken to people about road racing in CBs, there's never been a great deal of interest, but it seems like because Scarborough's pushing this CB 500 class and the rules and everything else, it's looking like it's potentially going to go that way. I do know that we have Dom Herbertson from Chasing the Racing, the Isle of Man TT, etc., riding a CB 500. So I'll try my best to keep him in sight for about 3 seconds, if possible, before we head down into the hairpin. But yeah, it's going to be a great weekend. Adam hasn't signed on yet. It'd be great if Adam was there, or Josh, or Will, or Grant, or someone alien-like to come and give Dom a good go. But we'll have to wait and see. We've still got a week, and there's Southern 100 and Aberdare this weekend,
which quite a lot going on, isn't it? Which
all dictate how Scarborough's grids end up looking at this round. So we'll wait and see what happens. It might be a bit busier, but for me, I'm going. I'll be there next weekend. And and it'll be Rob Carver's first weekend there. It'll be Ian Carter's second weekend there, and numerous others that have come down from Scottish Championship. Liam McPherson will be there. He'll be hard to beat.
Yeah, he did really well, didn't he, last time?
He did really well.
Yeah.
So
Rick there, Rick as well.
Rick Stumps will be there, and yeah, we'll see what happens. Scarborough's always a fantastic meeting. It's even better when it's dry. So fingers crossed we have great dry weather again, because the last round was fantastic. I know it was a bit hit and miss on the Sunday. It rained when we left, but luckily for us in CBs and Supersport B, it was bone dry.
The Saturday was like baking hot, wasn't it?
Oh, it was.
I enjoyed the filming, apart from running up and down the hills. But yeah,
I did tell you there was some steep hills. I don't know if you remembered, but yeah, it's steep hills. So yeah, no, it was great, and it was great having you there on Saturday helping out, and Grant, and then Rob and Chris, and everybody who came to see Max, and Brian, and the whole shebang. It was fantastic, and I think Scarborough's going to build with CB500s. I really do, because Andy is really serious about it. He's raced. Andy Hayes, the organiser at Scarborough, has been racing a CB himself at Tonfano, and he was assistant clerk at Bemsee, paying a great deal of attention to what the CB riders are saying, and in the class, and coming to talk to us. And he rode his at there, and yeah, so I think it's only going to move in the right direction for CB500s at Scarborough. And realistically, Scarborough and Aberdare are only road racing CB500 options. So, because you go to Southern 100, you go anywhere in Ireland, it's not an option. So, we want them to build, and we want them to be viable for any newcomers or any experienced CB500 racers to come along and have a race at.
Probably even though I'm not going to do it myself, so this is going to sound funny, but it probably is the safest way of having it go, isn't it? Because I hit a tree. That's why not. I prefer holding the camera than hugging a tree, if I'm honest.
I honestly thought that. So when at one point I left the bar on Saturday at Cadwell, and Mark Osborne and Andy were left talking, and by the way Mark was talking, Andy must be a fantastic flirt, because Mark sounded like he wanted to do it by the end of it, but. Yeah, I think it
definitely. I mean, don't get me wrong. Watching it looks ace. It looks really cool to watch, and it's going to sound stupid as well. It doesn't look that dangerous when you're watching, but obviously on it, and obviously in the first corner, anyone that's done it is going to say obviously what it's like. But yeah, it looks fun, but it doesn't look that crazy. But when you see him going over the Jeffries jump bit and all that lot, it's
Well, you can get air on a CB500 over the jumps. I mean, I know we can do it. We can do it at Cadwell as well, but at Jeffries it feels completely different. And
it's like unbelievably tight, isn't it, as a track? I mean,
Cadwell this weekend felt like the M25.
I was going to say, you guys who did that, like yourself, Ian, and that lot who did that before coming to Cadwell, must have not been worried about the tightness of Cadwell, if you like.
No, everyone says Cadwell's mega tight and all that, and after you've done a weekend of Scarborough, Cadwell seems like it's huge. There's loads of space. So it was a great weekend at Scarborough. We had a fantastic time. CB's hit off really well. Our vlog portion
didn't it?
Yeah, loads of views. Anybody that's watching off the back of that, give us a follow. There'll be more of that going forwards. Give us a follow, give us a subscribe, and keep in touch with us. And anyone that's interested in CB500 racing, get in touch with Mark and I. We're both on Facebook, we're both on Instagram. It's not hard to find us. And just ask us about CB500 racing. We want as many people here as we can. Whether it's Scarborough, Bemsee, No Limits, anywhere you like, NG, just come race these bikes. They're not going to be around forever. We hope they are. I think
we're at classic status almost anyway, aren't we?
we're pretty much a classic status, but we're trying our hardest to keep the class alive, and hopefully at the end of the year, with some of the sustainability questions of the class with Bemsee, we're going to try and see if we can move it along to a point where we've got other options for certain portions of the bike, so that we can keep the class moving without changing the performance dynamics of the bike, so that we can keep the lap times the same and not make a massive step in terms of performance whilst keeping the costs down and keeping the bike and the class sustainable. So there's lots to talk about with Max Maud at Bemsee, the rider rep, the technical guys at Bemsee themselves, and Andy at Scarborough. I know I'm the rider rep, and but Andy is definitely formulating his own opinion, helped by me trying to blend the biggest grid in the UK essentially with the road racing rules that he's trying to implement, and hopefully it continues, and it'd be great if we can build it up again, because there was definitely a slump, and we covered this in previous podcasts, but there was definitely a slump after Thundersport left, and as much as we loved Thundersport, it does feel like Bemsee are really filling that void, so it's fantastic to see. And well, I think what we're going to do is we'll wrap this up, because we've been going for nearly an hour, and we've talked Scarborough and we've talked Bemsee. I know there's been a no limits round in between, and I do fully intend on getting back to another no limits round. I'd love to go to Anglesey next weekend. Unfortunately, it clashes with Scarborough. We will catch up with some of them people again, not just the people that come to Bemsee and race, but we will get along to another Bemsee round and an EMRA round. I'm potentially looking at the prospect of going to the August EMRA round, either to ride or to watch, just to catch a bit of content and see what the riders think. So that's good, but thanks for coming along and watching again. Mark and I really appreciate your views and sharing the videos, and we hope you're enjoying the content. We get that it's a bit of a niche window for everybody to enjoy, but hopefully you have. And we'll have another update probably in August, maybe the end of August at some point, probably before the Gold Cup in September at Scarborough, and possibly before the Brands round. And we'll definitely have a Brands round update, because that's the home round, my home round at least. And it should be
in between as well.
We've got Snetterton in between. Snetterton, we should actually, sorry, taking that back, we should have a fairly decent Snetterton vlog. I'm hoping that we're going to have a vlog style video for Snetterton where we get some interviews at the circuit, because we've got an outside influencer coming in to record the weekend. So hopefully Suggy can come along and we get the whole crew along. Big CB village, lots of content, lots of great CB chat, and hopefully we'll have you back for them. And well done to old third place man over here. And
that'll be it now.
Oh,
never again, unless it rains.
He's praying for some more rain for the rest of the season. But well done, mate.
I nearly won my medal, because to me it's like a first, which I know is sad, but no, I'm only joking. But who knows? I'd like to get one of the drive, but that's the goal. But
mate.
We'll see.
We're all just trying to get better, aren't we? And that's the spirit of the class, and everybody is so happy for everybody else when they do well. You could tell when we come off and you said what you'd done. Fantastic. That's great. It's great to see. Another fantastic weekend. Another fantastic month of CB500 racing in the UK. Is there a better class? I don't actually know. I enjoyed the 600 at Scarborough, but CB's is fantastic. And hopefully it just grows and grows from here. So thanks very much, everybody, for watching the Everyday Racer podcast, and we'll see you next time.